In a bygone era, there dwelt a wealthy man whose wife was ailing. Sensing her imminent departure, she summoned her sole daughter, Cinderella, to approach her bedside. With a tender voice, she advised, "Dear child, when I depart, remain virtuous and pious. God will watch over you, and I shall gaze down upon you from the heavens, always present in spirit." With those words, she gently closed her eyes, and her earthly journey came to an end, leaving a void that lingered in the air. The young maiden, mourning the loss of her mother, visited her grave daily, shedding tears as a melody of sorrow accompanied her grief. Cinderella's father, a frequent traveler for work, found himself in need of a caretaker for his daughter. Opting for remarriage, he wed a widow with 2 daughters of her own. Thus, Cinderella found herself in the company of a wicked stepmother and 2 unkind stepsisters. They treated her as a servant, assigning her all household chores and subjecting her to mistreatment. One day, as Cinderella diligently swept the floor, her stepsisters, indulging in fruits, callously discarded peels. Witnessing the mess, the stepmother scolded, "Clean the floor properly, you lazy girl. Can't you do anything right?" Apologetic, Cinderella vowed to rectify her mistake, enduring continued mistreatment. Assigned to cooking and dishwashing, Cinderella, hungry, asked her stepmother for food. The reply was callous, "You can eat the leftovers after we finish." With a heavy heart, Cinderella complied. The stepmother's commands persisted, and Cinderella, burdened by the weight of servitude, sought solace in the attic each night, weeping and yearning for sustenance. Observing Cinderella's plight, small creatures, rats and birds, sympathetically befriended her. The narrative took a turn when the king decided to host a grand party, summoning all from the town. Eager to find a suitable match for his son, the king organized a grand ball at the palace. The royal proclamation echoed through the kingdom, inviting all young maidens to the forthcoming week's Saturday ball, where a princess would be chosen for the prince. The atmosphere was filled with happiness as everyone jumped with joy. Cinderella, too, was overjoyed and excited because she had always dreamed of seeing the palace. While Cinderella's sisters busily prepared for the ball with great hustle and bustle, their mother urged them on, expressing her desire for one of them to marry the prince. She requested Cinderella's help in ensuring her daughters looked like princesses, as one of them was destined to marry the prince. Amidst the commotion, one sister confidently declared that the prince would marry her, and Cinderella, displaying her kindness, assisted both sisters in their preparations. However, Cinderella also expressed her own wish to attend the ball and see the palace. Unfortunately, her sisters and mother dismissed her desire, pointing out that she didn't even have a dress to wear, predicting that others would laugh at her and she would face embarrassment. Disheartened, Cinderella was left alone, crying, and remembered her mother's torn wedding gown. Determined to attend the ball, she began sewing it with the help of her little friends, the birds and rats. Realizing that it would take too long to complete the gown, Cinderella was suddenly visited by her fairy godmother. Assuring her not to cry, the fairy godmother promised to send her to the ball. When Cinderella questioned the identity of her mysterious visitor, the fairy godmother revealed herself as invisible and performed magic to transform Cinderella's old clothes into a beautiful new gown. Additionally, she conjured glass shoes for Cinderella. To ensure Cinderella arrived at the ball in style, her mice friends and birds transformed a pumpkin into a beautiful carriage. The mice became horses to pull the carriage, and the birds became her coachmen. Cinderella expressed concern about her stepsisters and stepmother recognizing her at the ball, but the fairy godmother assured her that they wouldn't be able to recognize her in her transformed state. "Oh, godmother, your kindness knows no bounds." The enchanting melody of the music surrounded Cinderella as she absorbed the fairy godmother's advice. Yet, a reminder echoed through the night, emphasizing that the magic bestowed upon her would only endure until the stroke of midnight. The urgency to return home by then was imprinted in her mind. With gratitude, Cinderella assured her godmother of her commitment to adhere to the curfew. The godmother bid her farewell, and Cinderella embarked on her journey to the grand ball, where her fate would intertwine with the enchanting music. As she entered the ballroom, a breathtaking transformation took place, capturing the attention of all present. Even her stepsisters and stepmother failed to recognize her newfound beauty. The handsome prince, captivated by Cinderella's allure, approached her with admiration and a heartfelt request for a dance. The dance unfolded like a dream, with the prince wholly enchanted by Cinderella, unable to divert his gaze. The night continued in bliss until Cinderella, momentarily forgetting the constraints of time, realized the midnight hour was near. In a swift departure, Cinderella remembered her godmother's words as the clock chimed, serving as an unwelcome reminder of reality. Her hasty exit left the prince in pursuit, with only a glass slipper as a fleeting trace. As the prince retrieved the glass slipper, confusion lingered. Cinderella's hasty retreat left questions unanswered. Meanwhile, in her haste, her magical carriage metamorphosed back into a pumpkin, taking a shortcut to ensure she reached home. Determined to find the mysterious beauty, the prince embarked on a quest with his men, searching every corner of the kingdom. Every door was knocked upon, and every maiden tried on the glass slipper, but none proved a perfect fit. Their journey eventually led them to Cinderella's home. The stepmother welcomed them, unaware of Cinderella's presence in the attic, locked away. The sisters attempted to wear the slipper, but it resisted their attempts. An observant man discovered the attic and questioned its secrecy. The stepmother, defensive, insisted there was no one there, attempting to divert their attention. To their surprise, Cinderella was found, seated near the window. With the slipper fitting perfectly, Cinderella was revealed as the elusive beauty. The stepmother's deception was exposed, and the prince, finding his beloved, proposed to Cinderella, who joyfully accepted. Returning to the palace, the king and queen welcomed Cinderella, and her father played a crucial role in deciding the wedding details. The union of Cinderella and the prince marked the beginning of a life filled with happiness, concluding their tale with a timeless, happily ever after.